practice Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. This is probably one of the most common poses you'll see practiced in almost every yoga class. In almost every yoga class I go to, I see it being practiced incorrectly. It has so many benefits, so I want to make sure that I give you some tips so you can figure out where your body is in space as you practice this pose. So we'll practice with a block, a chair, and we'll practice against the wall as well. This is a nice book by B.K.S. Iyengar. It's Yoga, the Path to Holistic Health. And what's nice about it is it tells you all the benefits and all the cautions for each pose that you practice. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of what they say about Utthita Trikonasana. So some of the benefits. It tones the abdominal organs, stimulates digestion, relieving gastritis, acidity, and flatulence, tones the pelvic organs, correcting the effects of a sedentary lifestyle or a faulty posture. It alleviates back pain, reduces stiffness in the neck, shoulders, and knees. It tones the ligaments of the arms and the legs and helps relieve menstrual disorders. So just a couple of the cautions I think you should be aware of when you practice Utthita Trikonasana is if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, you should never be looking up. You should keep your head in a neutral position, so eyes either looking straight ahead or looking down. And this goes as well if you have neck issues. So those are the main cautions I think you should pay attention to when practicing this pose. So in Utthita Trikonasana, you can either walk or jump your feet apart. If you jump your feet apart, make sure that you don't have any lower back issues, and just jump them apart very evenly. Lower back issues, you may want to walk your feet apart, and you can walk them 3.5 to 4 feet, maybe even 4.5 feet apart in this pose. When you practice this pose, a lot of people have their feet too close together. So when they come down, the hip juts out and the body comes forward, and then they usually bring their arm up like this. So you will not obtain any of the benefits we talked about if you practice this pose in this way. So if that happens, bring your feet wider apart. I like to press the feet strongly into the floor as if I'm going to push them through the floor and then energetically draw the legs away. So a lot of people kind of hang in the poses and they don't press the feet down properly, their legs are bent, and the pelvis is dropping forward. So you really want to find energy in the legs. And for me, the easiest way to explain that is to really bring the energy to the feet by pressing them through the floor, and you'll see that the quadriceps draw up. So if you were to touch any area of your leg, it should be active. And you shouldn't feel mashed potatoes. You should feel really active, strong muscles. You're going to bring your arms out to the side, and you want to strongly extend them. So a lot of people, their arms are not energized. So as much as the legs are working strongly, the arms should be working as strongly. And drawing away, and the fingertips should be extended. Be mindful not to bring the shoulders up. Bring the shoulders down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, as you come down, do not jut out the hip, do not drop it forward. And come down onto the floor. Send the energy to the heel of the back leg, float up. Another thing you'll see people do when they practice this pose is they'll round the ribs up towards the ceiling, and this will become short. You're not going to find the benefits when the pose is practiced in this way either. So you really want to bring the ribs to the center so that both sides of the body become long. Not everyone can come to the floor. You're not ready to come to the floor, so you're going to need props to practice the pose correctly. So when you come to your pose, you're going to place a block on the floor at whatever height works for you. And you're going to place your hand on that block. And you can adjust the height of the block as you practice the pose. Sometimes even a block isn't enough height, or no matter what you try to do, your ribs are still moving up towards the ceiling. So sometimes using the chair can be very helpful. Place your hand to the top back of a chair. Inhale, expand. Exhale, push the chair away. Sometimes, no matter how we practice in the middle of the room, we can't seem to align our body the way we need to in this pose. So walls are wonderful props that help you figure out where you are in space. So when you practice at the wall, place the heel of the back leg directly touching the wall, and the heel of the front leg in line with the arch of the back. So you're going to inhale, expand, extend those wonderful fingertips. Exhale, bending from the fold in the hip, come down and place your hand on that block. And you'll see where the body needs to move in this pose. So you really want the torso to revolve, you want the feet to be pressing into the floor, you want the shoulders directly above each other. And you want to work on this pose. Keep pressing those feet, keep working those legs, keep extending those fingertips.